This is Vanessa Lake, the Purple Couch Lady, and this is the question I received. I've been having nightmares about work. Sometimes it's an event that's happened and I'm reliving it in my dream, but usually it's things that have never happened, like getting locked in a cell with an inmate or a family member will be there with me and I can't save them. I won't have my weapon or I'm shouting and no sound comes out, no one comes to help me. How do I make them stop so I can get better sleep? It helps to understand that dreams serve a purpose, despite how random they appear, and that's to process your emotions. Remember, the brain wants to be efficient, so it doesn't spend time processing every emotion that comes up in your waking hours. Not when it can do it while you're sleeping. Especially if your brain is processing all the data you're exposed to in your workday to keep you safe. It's going to prioritize safety over your emotional needs. And some emotions you haven't fully processed for decades, which can result in reoccurring dreams, especially because your brain gets stuck and can't file it away. If you're choosing to ignore, avoid, or numb your emotions while you're awake, then that can create a backlog of emotions that need to be processed while you're sleeping. And that can be overwhelming, resulting in some pretty intense dreams. The simplified version is that the dreams are a time of processing data from the left brain and the things you've encountered from the day with the emotions of the right brain that you feel, even the unconscious ones or the ones you've tried to black out. They come together in the REM stage of sleep when your eyes go side to side. It's pulling from the data from the left and the emotions from the right, combining events, people, places, memories, things you've seen on TV, you've heard on the radio, and they blend that into a story to experience and work through the emotions you need to process. Once those two pieces are integrated, those emotions are worked through. The information is filed as memories or a learning experience to pull from later, or it's dumped, it's complete, and it's not necessary to hang on to. Not all emotional experiences need to be held on to. For example, if you had a bad exchange with a cashier at the store and they were rude to you, you may have a dream of yelling, getting things off your chest to process your anger about the situation, and then your brain dumps it. This could have just been like a 5-minute interaction, and you consciously let it go the minute you left the store. You blew it off. Damn, some people just should not work in customer service. So, here's the thing about alcohol it prevents your brain from getting to the REM stage of sleep. I know a lot of officers use alcohol because it stops them from dreaming. But without dreaming, there's no processing. And if it's not happening while you're asleep, those emotions are going to bleed over into your waking hours and make things a whole lot worse. I can't stress enough, don't use alcohol to help you sleep. The long term effects emotionally, let alone physically, aren't worth it. So there's a lot of events in your workday you can't emotionally respond to. Either things happen quickly, so you're moving from one thing to the next, or you tell yourself to pick your battles and let it go, especially if it's an issue with a supervisor or a coworker. But these emotions may still need to be processed while you sleep. So it's not always nightmares from traumatic experiences, though that's the obvious ones. To understand what the brain is processing, look to the emotional theme of the dream. Find ways to acknowledge, feel, and express those feelings in your waking hours so you don't need to replay them in your sleep. Also, find ways to counter those emotions. Feel something opposite. So, if you're feeling helpless, like you have no control in your dream, look to where in your real life you can feel like you have control over your life, your choices, your reactions to situations, even the choice of what you'll watch on TV or what you're going to eat for dinner. Those are ways of reminding your brain that you are not helpless and you are, in fact, in control. I had a client that kept dreaming of being trapped inside the prison, so I asked, where in your life do you feel trapped? It's not always the job itself. Sometimes people do okay at work. They know it's just a job, not their life, and they can let things go. But then they see their personal life isn't fulfilling or their relationship is stagnant. They don't feel like they can get out. They might feel trapped with their debt or the house they live in or the area. These are other ways that they might feel trapped. It's not just work. But once they can see where they're feeling trapped, then you can start making changes. Though dreams will no longer show up trying to get your attention. For the nightmares themselves, once you wake up, replay the dream with a different ending to create the emotion you want to feel. If you're dreaming you can't save someone, replay the dream with what you'd want to do to save them. The right brain is fantasy. It's not meant to make sense or be real. Replay the story with you having superpowers, or all the characters of the dream are in a video game, or actors from a movie. Make it fantasy to take out some of the emotional charge of the dream. Play it out to the ending you want that gives you the feeling empowered, in control, having a voice, being heard, whatever it is. but always play it out as you are the one rescuing yourself. Otherwise, you're still giving up control and power to an outside source or person rather than feeling it on your own. Also, replay this dream before you go to bed, so it's fresh in your subconscious when you go to sleep. This reprograms the brain to play out the ending you choose and not the one causing you distress. What if you don't remember your dreams? As long as you're not using alcohol to block your dreams, if you're just someone who doesn't naturally remember your dreams, that doesn't mean you're not processing. Say you wake up in a panic sweat. You know you must have had a nightmare, but you don't remember what it is. Again, the emotional brain doesn't care about the data, the events of how the story played out, or, you can just make up your own movie in your head. You can assume it was about work, especially if you did experience a recent traumatic event that, has images that are still fresh in your mind. Play it out with the ending that changes your emotions. It's all made up in the right brain anyways. It's about the feelings, not the actual events. So now if you wake up truly in a panic and you can't catch your breath, your heart is racing, you're amped up, go burn through the adrenaline to help your body calm down. Even just 5 minutes, go outside the bedroom, go do some push-ups, some jumping jacks, get that heart rate up so your brain comes up with a new reason for the sweat and the racing heart. The reason being that you're exercising instead of that you're having a panic attack or you just had a bad dream. Like, give it something, another story to tell. And for more coping skills to manage panic attacks themselves, check out my free download, The Stress Management Game Plan. Link is in below. So also go outside, breathe some fresh air, show your brain you're not stuck or boxed in. There's something pretty peaceful and calming about the nighttime sounds and the feel at 3 a.m. when the world is quiet. Helps you get emotionally quiet too. As for your loved ones, I suggest you tell them that if they see you having a nightmare, it's not always safe for them to touch you to try and wake you. They can get hurt. I've had clients swing at their partners while they're asleep, thinking they were fighting for their lives. So have them say your name from a safe distance. Or a better choice is to play music that you enjoy. It activates a different memory in the right brain and can more quickly pull you out of your dream state. If you're finding that nightmares are happening more often than you're comfortable with, or despite these tools and you're still having frequent or reoccurring nightmares, your brain may be stuck in the emotional processing. You can check out my blog on the 4 steps to processing trauma to see if that helps. But if you need further help, of course, go see a therapist and get the help that you deserve. If you found this information helpful, please share it with others. And if you have your own questions about mental health, bringing work home, or if you're a loved one trying to understand what they're going through, just leave your questions in the comments below or send me an email. If you're looking for more resources, check out my website. You'll find free downloads, blog posts, information on the Therapy90, a device that activates your calming nervous system, a national providers list of therapists who specialize in working with officers and first responders, and you can sign up for my monthly newsletter. Check out the links in the description.